All right, Beyond the Gates fans, we close out the week with a pretty decent episode, 8 out of 10. I think the last two episodes were a bit better. But there's decent setup in this episode, don't get me wrong. But yeah, episode 28 was indeed quite the showing. Some lies being exposed, other secrets being kept. And the promo for next week looks exciting as well. I kind of decided not to do the trailer breakdown videos each week because they don't really do all that well. So I just kind of stopped doing them. I mean, it is what it is. But in terms of episode 26 and 27, yes, I know I was late. They're up now. I uploaded everything at one time. It's just that, it's that time of the year where it's grass cutting season and I got to push more as opposed to a riding more because for one, I don't want to spend money on gas and my weed eater and lawnmower are battery operated. All I gotta do is recharge them, so it saves a lot of money. Not to mention, I sit a lot, so being able to just stand up and walk around, take a couple hours to cut everything, is exercise. So I'll take that. And I was tired afterwards, so I didn't feel like editing last night. But just to let you know, I will try to get back on track next week by getting everything out, daily like I usually do. And don't think it's me being lazy. Life happens. Kind of like with Joey's situation, my mom has to go to the hospital next week. Thankfully, not for a nip and tuck. Let's not, no. She has to have a brain surgery, which she had last year. But this time it's like, it's a follow-up procedure, just to make sure everything's okay. Because she's been fine ever since the surgery last year. But this is just a, standard thing. She's going to be an outpatient. So Tuesday, I might not have my review up on time because, we're going to Lynchburg and she's going to the hospital. Then we'll be back later that afternoon, evening, and go from there. So just know that early next week, my schedule might be off for a couple of days, but, things will get back on track, assuming everything goes well. So I just wanted to give you an update. It's not like, is Jeremy going to quit Beyond the Gates? No. It's just life stuff has been happening. And, priorities got to take, precedence over these reviews. But I will get these out as quickly as possible. And in some cases, if there is ever a period where I can't review everything immediately, I might do what some other YouTubers are doing. I know like Ashley Miller, somebody pointed out to me that she does the 5 episodes in one. Like at the end of the week, she does one video where she talks about all the events at once. Sometimes I might have to do that. Or sometimes rather than recording separate reviews, I might just do one video that is comprised of 2 to 3 episodes. So I just wanted to start this video off with that kind of announcement just to let you know, because I've been getting DMs, tweets, and people have been emailing me. Yo, where are the reviews at? I promise you, they will come in due time. And no, I have not forgotten. I will start doing live streams at some point in the near future. So with that being said, let's dive into the episode. So we pick up where we left off with Ted revealing to Nicole that, yeah, Joey's mom died about a year ago. And no, I'm not like thinking it's someone else. There's another surgeon that I know of who, I think his name was Evan. I didn't catch the name. I know it began with an E, but I was multitasking during the first few minutes of the episode. But in any case, Joey's mom, being of elderly age and shouldn't have gotten this procedure to begin with, went in for a nip and tuck. However, she died on the operating table. And fearful of Joey's rage, this doctor decided to split town. And the crazy part is, Nicole was initially told by Ted that, he went for like he went out of town for like business purposes or whatnot. But in fact, he ran from a, vengeful casino owner. So from there, Nicole, and I love how Nicole did not waste any time. In so many soap operas and genres and whatnot, if someone knows something important, that it's like, why don't they tell the other person immediately instead of holding on to it for like 3 seasons? Nicole was ready to drop everything and, meet up with Vanessa in order to warn her like, hey, this dude is playing you. So I love how she took care of that. She basically dipped to go to the country club. Now over at the club, Vanessa, still looking amazing by the way, Diego approaches her and chats to her about Joey. Basically, when enough people tell you the same thing, it might be word of caution that you need to heed to. So essentially, it's not him being jealous, but for once he's like, yeah, so a lot of people who have been telling you about Joey, if enough people are saying the same thing, it might be good for you to believe them. So Vanessa thinks that it's jealousy, basically saying something to the effect of, sometimes the jealousy is sexy, hot, but now it's like, no, it's not. But it's like, hey, I'm just trying to warn you. So from there, she's like, well, I'm in the middle of something right now. Aren't there other clients you need to help work their form? Well, Haley actually, quit her, scheduled routine because at this point, the country club, nobody's really messing with her like that. Vanessa went on to say like, well, she canceled the appointment. It was good to know everybody around here has canceled her as well. And don't get it twisted. Even though I sold her and Bill that house, I'm not letting that whole personal thing mess up my bottom line. And I appreciate that because that's so true. So the craziest part for me is that Diego's like, hey, how about we meet in our spot in 5 minutes? Actually, no, I got, so much work to do. I need to finish this. Diego's like, all right, you're lost then. So he goes around the corner and looks at her. Vanessa looks around, and then the way she scurried around that corner, it had me dying. That was hilarious. So later on, when Nicole actually meets up with Vanessa at the country club, she's looking just ragged, like a Barbie doll whose hair is messed up and clothes are tattered because her and Diego were, in their spot doing the nasty. So while Nicole is trying to talk to her about the Joey situation, it's like, look, Nicole, like, hey, hear me out. What's the nature of your business? Oh, he's trying to find a home for his elderly mother. Yeah, his mom died on the operating table. Wait, what? No, I got to call him and see. A year ago. What? So Vanessa's like pissed off, like, why would he lie? So she goes to call him and says, I need to talk to you immediately. So Nicole's like, wait, you want to meet with him alone? No. He's going to meet with me right here at the country club. Don't worry about it. So Nicole dips. In like 2 seconds after she leaves, Joey rolls in, concerned, like, hey, what's going on? It's like, well, it's about your mom. How is she? Well, actually, she's, some days she's doing better than others. And, so yeah, why did you lie to me? So then Joey, the smooth operator he is, he pretty much breaks it down like, look, yes, my mom, me and her suffer from the same thing, which is vanity. And the fact that I didn't want to reveal that I'm basically getting elderly like she was. That's why I work out and eat right, because Father Time is undefeated. So all those amenities I was talking about, like, the pools and shower and whatnot, the massage thing is basically for me because I'm getting up in age. And Vanessa, it's funny because in episode, was it 26 or 27, where I tried to figure out the proper term that people use to refer to handsome older guys, zaddy. Vanessa says it, so I didn't have to because I couldn't think of the word to save my life. But it's like, yeah, okay, I'll help you find the house, but so long as there are no more lies between us. And Joey's like, hey, I don't want anything between us. And I'm like, and then he holds her hand. And the crazy part is Diego walks by and sees this. And I'm like, oh, snap. What's he going to do now? Go, Diego. Go, Diego. So over at the diner, and like I said in my other episode review, the diner is great. Haley catches up with Derek. Now, I actually like this moment due to the fact that Derek makes it clear, like, well, I don't really hate you like that, Haley. It's just the fact that Ashley and I were just starting to get to know you, but then the whole situation went down between you and Naomi's dad, and that's why things are really awkward. Because, like always, Haley is trying to just pop up on people and expect there to be no awkward energy between them, and it's like, come on, man. You played one of our friends by messing around with her dad and then marrying him. Like, I don't want to mess with you because, look, Naomi and Ashley are so close, and I'm Ashley's boyfriend. So I'm pretty sure if I'm on good terms with you and hang out with you, I'm going to deal with backlash. So it's pretty much, guilt by association. That's why we don't really want to mess with you like that, because Haley's like, hey, congrats on the cat article. Well, yeah, I was hoping nobody would see that. Yeah, it would have been nice to know about that kind of thing, if I was still in the group chat with you, Naomi, Jacob, and Ashley. Don't act like you don't know why you aren't in the chat. So Derek just basically says, look, I don't really despise you like everyone else, because she mentions the country club and everything, but just know that there are other people out there. So basically, instead of trying to force your way into places where, it's quite obvious you won't be welcome, just go out and find somebody in the world. I mean, that's the thing, because remember, this diner is outside the gates from what I remember. Oh yeah, it is. It is. So, it's crazy because Haley, she's behind the gates as she's wanted this entire time, but come to find out that she's more alone, surrounded by all these people than she ever was when she was on the outside. But that's a product of her own selfishness. So she can keep acting like, oh, I haven't done anything wrong, when it's like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Now, as far as Naomi, she is about to call 911 for Bill, and he's like, no, I'm fine. It's like, look, a numb hand is like a first sign of a heart attack. And Bill just plays it off saying, no, I'm fine. It's just, my hand fell asleep and whatnot. And Naomi's like, really, are you fine? Like, look, this isn't a stunt or anything for you to go easy on me on court or drop the case. And he's like, fine. Well, you just, you get better, and we'll fight it out in court. So then she leaves. So from there, Danny's freaking out because she's still trying to, what is it? Julia and Jonathan, right? Those are the name of the two fashion individuals she met with the other episode. And they're trying to find a Chelsea replacement. And Chelsea and Kat show up, and Chelsea agrees to do it so long as she can wear that new purse, because the first purse design she came up with came back, and she wanted Danny's, honest opinion, and she loved it. So I love the fact that Chelsea swooped in order to, well, do something not just for herself with the purse line, but also for the fundraiser, because it's for a good cause to help out college students. So I love how everything worked out at the end. That was really cool. So from there, oh yeah, Danny's like, so why'd you do it? It's like, I hope you didn't do it because you think it's one of those, oh, I need to do this in order to appease my mom so she doesn't freak out or crash out. And Chelsea brings up the fact that she ran into Haley at the diner and found out about the whole breaking in thing. And it's like, it's not what you think. Not exactly. I broke a wine bottle and I replaced it. Technically, she did not break in because that one security guy or whoever gave her the code, which is completely unethical. But Danny, you're not telling the whole truth. And I'm not saying that she's innocent, but yeah, it's just like, she just exploded at the fact, like, hey, like, don't tell me you're on the Danny watch list where it's like, you got to be careful around me or you'll set me off. No, it's like everything isn't. No, I got to admit, Danny, like, Haley got you on this one. So that's all I'm saying. But from there, Kat and Chelsea leave, and Kat briefly talks with her dad because her dad, being a dad, needed help with something on his tablet and a couple of buttons, and she fixed it. Now he's like, well, I don't know what I want to do with you after you and Chelsea leave to conquer the fashion world. And it's like, oh, don't worry, I'm sure I'll find a replacement to put you in good hands. Do you think Eva will be selected to be Ted's assistant? Because keep in mind, Laura isn't going to be in the hospital forever. I think it was said she would be recovering for what, like 6 weeks or something? It wasn't no 6 months, right? It was like 6 weeks. It was a 6 something, either 6 weeks or 6 months, I forget. But from there, I wonder if Eva's, track record is just so well that at some point it's like, well, you did such a great job with Nicole. I'd love for you to be my assistant. And I wonder how Kat would feel about that, considering now it's like, you trying to take my spot, like Flash from the 5 Heartbeats. But that would be pretty wild. But I only see that happening if Leslie Dana's plan doesn't really work. So we'll have to wait and see. Or Leslie, Dana, Shelly, Anna, whoever. We'll just have to wait and see how that pans out. Now from there, Ted briefly talks with Nicole. Oh yeah, I did find it funny because when Kat runs into her mom, who was leaving the country club and made a quick stop at the house because, she was nervous about Vanessa meeting with Joey, Kat gives her some jewelry and it's like, all right, well, good luck with your Delulu patient. Because at first I'm like, wait, is that in reference to Shelly? But no, actually, Ted played a joke by lying to Kat, saying that her mom was meeting with a client that thinks his mother's still alive. So that was pretty funny. But, I'm just looking at Ted and Nicole like, oh man, it's crazy because Ted's hiding something because he has flashbacks to Leslie and the threat she was making. So we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out next week. So from there, after leaving the diner, Bill and Haley meet up briefly because her day's pretty open considering the whole country club experience. And yet again, Bill is trying to get her in. But like, look, no. You got way too much going on now with the work here at the firm, not to mention this upcoming lawsuit. You trying to blackmail people into getting me to be accepted at the country club isn't a top priority right now. And thankfully, I did run into somebody at the diner who made me feel like a person again in reference to Derek. So she then says that she wants to help with this lawsuit somehow. And she lies about, oh, I forgot the biscuits. Not the cheddar biscuits. No, not my mama's biscuits. So she goes down to the diner again. And Chelsea actually comes in briefly to talk with her dad, but the trust is gone. And Bill is a piece of crap, but I do somewhat feel bad considering, like he says, his girls are his heart. So I do believe him on that front. But the whole choosing his daughter's friend to marry, I don't know. But yeah, I do kind of feel bad for him in that respect, considering he's a parent. But, it really sucks that Lord have mercy. I was hoping the man wouldn't have a heart attack for real this time because talking with Chelsea, made him upset because of the fact that his baby girl couldn't really, trust him anymore because, well, you can't really blame her considering what he did. So from there, we go over to the diner. Haley is there to meet with Becky with the good hair. And this is a secret meeting because it turns out Becky and Haley were friends. And it seems like Becky was up for the promotion as paralegal that Haley ended up getting instead. And then Becky's like, I don't know why I should even talk to you considering that after everything that happened and you getting the job instead of me and then me getting fired, you never called or anything to check up on me. And Haley is trying to use this opportunity as a way to sneakily get one of Naomi's clients to kind of back out of the lawsuit for the sake of the firm. And then Naomi swoops in and, shuts it down immediately and is threatening to call, take legal action for you going behind the attorney's back in order to coerce, bribe, or possibly intimidate one of my clients. And essentially she tells Haley, you want to help? Yes, I do. Back the hell up. Stay out of it. So Naomi won't play. Look, this was like Naomi's best week. She was not taking crap from anyone. And it's funny because when she was talking to her mom, because earlier in the episode, Naomi went over to Danny's place. Okay, it was kind of funny because Danny mentioned how proud she was of the lawsuit. And it's like, oh, well, okay, you can't tell me that many details, but baby girl, can you tell me what was Bill's face like the moment you said you were going to sue him? What kind of look was on his face? He must have had a heart attack. And then Naomi's like, and Dan's like, what did I do? Now, I don't think Naomi told Danny about, Bill's numb arm and whatnot, but I wonder how Danny would have reacted to that. Because Danny actually says she kind of low-key suggests that Naomi let the case go. I mean, yeah, it would be great to get justice and whatnot and stick it to him, but if it's going to cost you your relationship with your dad, then maybe it's not the best thing to do. And she even goes so far as to call Bill later in the episode to suggest, he go easy on her. So I'm really wondering what's going to go down. Like, will these two even make it to the courtroom? And Lord help them. I don't want it to be a situation where they're in the courtroom and then Bill has a legit heart attack. That would be wild. Like, look, he's a piece of crap, but I wouldn't wish that on him. I know that much for sure. So aside from that, the only other thing to talk about is Andre setting up to do the documentary at the hospital. He's setting things up. He tells Ashley, yep, I'm about to start with the nurses any minute now. So he goes on to interview a couple of the nurses. The first one talks about, superpower being the connection with people, which is great. The second one, of course, flirting with Andre. I love Shanice's reaction to all this because her and Ashley are watching from the sidelines. And it's funny because Shanice was all like, oh, I can't wait for my 15 minutes of fame and whatnot and being in front of the camera. And it seemed like she was a bit nervous at first, but once Andre shifts gears to, one of the new nurses who you feel like is making an example and a good one, she mentions Ashley. I think it's interesting to me because part of me feels like while Shanice was a bit nervous when talking about herself, when talking about Ashley, she was easily able to, give her flowers and whatnot. But part of me feels like was Shanice being a bit messy by, bigging up Ashley, knowing that there's something between her and Andre, because when Ashley got in front of the camera, everything was cool, smile, hair in full effect. And when Andre was like, yeah, well, can you tell me a little bit more about, the situation on the elevator? Well, you have to turn the camera around on yourself since you were there too. And the way that she smiled and Andre smiled and Shanice was like, yo, she messy and I love her. Look, Danny is unhinged. Haley is just, the worst. Naomi is on fire. But when it comes to Shanice and Leslie, she's, crazy. But Shanice, she is low-key the messiest character in the show, but I cannot help but love her for that. So then Derek actually comes in, and he's, like, extremely nervous in front of the camera. And Andre's like, okay, so could you describe Ashley's superpower? Wait, she's super? And it's like, hey, Ashley, why don't you get in front of the camera with, sit beside Derek, and you all can talk about this situation about, his injury, how he got it, and what it was like having him as a patient. So the conversation goes well, but then when Ashley kisses Derek on the cheek, Andre's face, you could tell it's like, oh, man. So that's pretty much it. Pretty solid episode. Great way to end the week. But yeah, with that being said, hope you all have a great weekend. It's supposed to be in the mid to high 80s here, but your boy's going to be outside. Reasonably because of the temperatures, but this week from Amazon, I got my cornhole package, and I got my horseshoes. I haven't decided where to put that stuff. I mean, the cornhole, I'm just going to use one of the stands and just toss them, to practice on my aim. Horseshoes, I gotta dig. Well, I gotta figure out where in the yard I want to dig those pits to set that up and practice. So that'll be pretty fun. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get all 3 episode reviews uploaded right now. And don't worry, I got a bunch of Tyler Perry stuff for Sisters as well coming out, because season 9 apparently has either wrapped filming today on the 4th, or they're just about to finish. But as always, I appreciate the patience. And like I said, next week's schedule might be a little wonky as well. But like I said, it should be a routine checkup for my mom. And then we'll be home later that evening. And then that'll be that. So please like and subscribe. And I'll catch you all in the next video.